On today's adventure, we're leaving our resort in Oahu, Hawaii to drive to the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center. You'll be taking a boat ride with us to the USS Arizona Memorial that is still leaking oil since it was attacked on December 7th, 1941. We will simply play some music and let you get a feel for what the memorial is like, and then head back to explore the other areas of the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center as we walk you through their 2 free exhibit galleries and grab a few things from their bookstore. Finally, we'll head back to Aulani to enjoy some time relaxing as a family, enjoying the reef and the pools winding down our 4th day in Hawaii. So whether you're planning a trip and looking for some tips on visiting Pearl Harbor, or you simply want to virtually join us, we hope this video helps. Our Sunday morning at Aulani started out great. I put on the Bucks game as everyone was getting ready, and it was so odd to be watching an afternoon game early in the morning. We grabbed some quick service breakfast on site, which was much cheaper than yesterday's breakfast, especially after that parking ticket, which we will no longer speak of. The GPS puts the drive to the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center about 24 minutes away, so let's hop in our rental car and get over there. So Brie just set up our parking. It was $7, and they have a number of things you should not bring, like backpacks, purses, fanny packs, camera bags. So those are things you could leave in your car, which is what we did. Left everything except the things we need. So let's head inside and check out Pearl Harbor. We've got the Aviation Museum, the Missouri, the Submarine Museum, National Memorial. As we walk into the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center, aside from paying $7 to park, there's not an entrance fee or ticket needed to walk around a number of the things we're going to show you in this video. So we are going to head to the Arizona. Our time is 11:30, I think. So we're going to see if there's a way that we could actually go on an earlier visit. You can pick up a narrated tour if you'd like to. We're not going to on this visit, but here is a look at the cost if you do want to pick one up. I do see a little snack shop over here and restrooms to the left, so if you need to get a water or a snack, you can do that over here. Let's head over here where you get on to go see the Arizona. The park ranger is explaining to us that there is a movie to the left here that runs continuously throughout the day, and that though we are an 11:30 time slot to go see the Arizona, she's going to slip us in to the 10 o'clock because there is some standby room.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Pearl Harbor National Memorial, I do want to welcome you all to the 10 o'clock program. What's going to happen now is you folks are going to go out the double doors, and then you're going right onto the boat. There you'll meet the Arizona Boat Detachment. These are active duty Navy personnel that are hand-selected for a 3-year tour of duty with the Arizona Memorial. The 23-minute documentary film on the Pearl Harbor attack that is narrated by Stockard Channing, that is no longer part of the Arizona program. However, if you want to see it when you get off the boat, here's what you're going to do. You're going to come back around just like you're going to come back into the park, come back around like you're going to check in again. Do a U-turn into theater number 2, which is right behind us, and that film will promptly start on the 15 and the 45s of every hour. Before you get on the boat today, the most important thing that I want to make sure everybody here is aware of is the fact that the Arizona Memorial is not an attraction. It is a national cemetery, no different than if you went to go visit Gettysburg or even Arlington. As a matter of fact, when you walk onto the actual memorial itself, you will then be walking over the sunken battleship Arizona. That is the gravesite of over 900 sailors and Marines who lost their lives aboard battleship Arizona on that Sunday morning, December 7th of 1941. Those men have been on eternal duty for over 81 years. As a measure of respect for those men, the National Park Service, along with the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps, and most definitely the descendants of those that were killed aboard battleship Arizona, we ask that as you walk the memorial today, please do so in a quiet, reflective manner that brings honor to those men. We do not allow food or drink on the boat or at the memorial except for clear water. Please ensure that all electronic devices, including cell phones, are placed on silent, and please, out of courtesy and respect for the dead, do not use your phone while you're on the boat or at the memorial except for the camera. It's okay to photograph, it's okay to film. Now, regardless of whatever time your ticket says, you are now all officially 10 o'clock. So what that means is, when you get out to the memorial and you get off the boat, they're going to turn around and pick up the group that went ahead of you, which is the 945 group. So please, whatever you do, don't be that person who goes out to the memorial, takes a photo or two, and then tries to get right back aboard the same boat you just got off of. Wait till that next boat comes out. When they unload, that will be your return boat. Please be on that return boat, because if you linger and you skip it, chances are pretty good you're going to kick somebody off of their return boat. That make sense? All right, you'll be out there for about 10, 12 minutes. If you have any questions while you're out there, we will have a ranger out there, and he'll be more than happy to address your questions. So, at this time, head right out to the boat game.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board. We're on the way as soon as everybody's seated, and emergency life jackets are under all the benches.
So there is a look at the Arizona Memorial. We're going to continue to go around and explore some more here at Pearl Harbor. Here is a look at the Remembrance Circle that pays tribute to the men, women, and children, both military and civilian, who were killed as a result of the attack on December 7th, 1941. Lots of benches to sit down and different things to read as you walk around. Here is the anchor that was recovered from the USS Arizona. It says each weighs nearly 10 tons. Notice the size of the anchors compared to the size of the Arizona. List out all of the Arizona survivors here in this area. After spending some time walking around their wayside outdoor exhibits, we walked over to the Pacific Fleet Submarine Museum. Here is a look at the adult and child pricing if you do want to go inside. We're not going to be doing this museum today, so let's walk past the front entrance over this giant map and past the bookstore over here on the left to go over to their 2 free indoor exhibits they have up here on the left. Up ahead on the right is the Pearl Harbor Memorial Theater we talked about earlier, with a 23-minute documentary film, and also where we got on board the boat to the Arizona. We are going to this first exhibit on the left called Road to War. This exhibit includes artifact, historic newsreels, footage, and photos of American life before the war, giving you a great insight to what led to the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. It highlights the age of the battleship and the dawn of the aircraft carrier, with models going over air power versus the battleship and highlighting the Japanese expansion at this point in time. This is not a very large gallery, and you can walk through it at your own pace. From the Road to War exhibit gallery, we now walk next door to the Attack exhibit gallery. This showcases film and oral histories, artifacts, and photos of the attack and how it propelled the United States into war. This exhibit also features a Japanese bomber above your head when you first walk in. You can also see some replica equipment from 1941 over here on the right, and as you walk further into the gallery, you'll see a theater in the middle. We didn't stop to watch this movie, but here's a look at what it's like on the inside. You can read more details about the attack on Pearl Harbor in this room, as well as see a number of different artifacts from a number of different ships and learn about the attack on the airfields as well. They also have the only recovered World War II Japanese torpedo on display. We also found this replica of the USS Arizona Memorial very interesting to see after we just visited there. But there are a few highlights of these 2 exhibits. Let's work our way to the bookstore up here on the right before we leave. It's a pretty good sized gift shop with lots of different types of souvenirs you can get here. Everything purchased in the store supports the preservation of the visitor center. They have a number of different t-shirts as well as plane and ship replica models for sale. They do have a mini building blocks of the memorial and a number of replica newspapers from 1941. Each one of our kids picked up some books at the store to have some poolside reading, and we grabbed some snacks for the road as they have a little concession stand right next to the gift shop. But that wrapped up our time at the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center. There was much more we could have done, such as the Battleship Missouri Memorial and the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum. Though it's possible to visit all 4 of the Pearl Harbor historic sites in roughly 6 hours, we decided to get our kids back to the resort to have some downtime. My grandfather was in the Navy, and it was such an honor to visit Pearl Harbor in person, and so glad our kids were able to as well. So we got back on the road and headed back to Aulani. Once we made it back to Aulani, we got our swimsuits on and headed towards the reef. Getting some snorkeling gear and going into Aulani's reef has become one of our favorite things to do here every day. We tried to make sure we had plenty of downtime in our schedule at the resort to just enjoy all the pools. We also enjoyed trying new flavors of Mickey shaved ice. Speaking of Mickey, Hannah and I saw him on our way to ride one of the slides.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. You okay?
That's what happened to me and Mom.
Wow, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
After enjoying a couple slides and the lazy river, we ended up just watching the sunset from the pool, relaxing here at Aulani. And finally, it was time to head back to the room. You can see Micah and Hannah up on our balcony as they headed back early to get changed for dinner. We also finally spotted a mini hune in the elevator as they are scattered throughout the resort. The Ulu Cafe had volcano cheesesteak sandwiches, and we were right there at the busy time, but we just picked up some burgers and chicken for the kids to relax back at our room for the night. But that wrapped up our day 4 in Hawaii, going to Pearl Harbor. If you have watched this far and enjoyed the video, let us know by simply liking the video, and let us know in the comments if you've ever been to or you're planning to go to Pearl Harbor someday. Join us for day 5 as we spend more time here at Aulani and do a dance party with Stitch and some of his friends. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure.